Okay, let's be real for a second. Going through divorce is one of the most stressful things you can experience. And right in the middle of all that chaos, you've got these huge financial things to deal with, like the home appraisal. Now, I know it can feel like just one more thing on a massive to-do list, but here's the thing. This is one area where you actually have some control. You can really influence the outcome in a positive way. So let's dive into exactly how you can do that. So let me just ask you, is your home really ready for what is probably its most important valuation ever? Look, nobody is expecting perfection here, but we are talking about being prepared to show its true, honest value. This isn't about trying to pull a fast one on the appraiser. It's about making sure that all the value you know is in your home gets seen and counted. Think of this less like a test you have to pass and more like an opportunity to make sure the numbers are fair for your future. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty of what to do, we've got to talk about the why. Why does this appraisal matter so much, especially for those of us here in Missoula? It really all comes down to how Montana law looks at dividing up assets. Check out this term, equitable distribution. This is so important. In Montana, the law isn't about a strict 50-50 split. The goal is what's fair, which might not be exactly equal. And what's the biggest piece of that puzzle for most people? It's the house. So a really accurate, well-supported appraisal isn't just a number. It's the foundation for that fairness. This isn't about inflating the price. It's about finding the right, justifiable number so everyone gets a fair shake. All right, let's get into the good stuff, the things you can actually do right now. We're going to start with the very first thing an appraiser is going to notice when they walk in your door, just the overall presentation. That first impression. It's a bigger deal than you might think. Yeah, you might be thinking, come on, they're a professional. They can see past a little mess. And sure, to a point, they can. But a home that's clean and tidy sends this powerful, unspoken message. It basically screams, this place has been taken care of. That feeling, right from the start, can set a really positive tone for the whole visit. So how do we make that happen? Step one, a real deep clean. I'm not talking about a quick pass with the vacuum. I mean, get the baseboards, wash the windows, tackle those dusty corners. And step two, and this one is a game changer, declutter. All that extra furniture, those piles of books, they don't just look messy, they make rooms feel smaller. You want the appraiser to see the actual space, the layout, and the features, not have to look past your stuff. Okay, so we've covered the big picture impression. Now it's time to zoom in. We're going to sweat the small stuff. Why? Because a whole bunch of tiny little problems can add up to one big deduction in an appraiser's eyes. And this is exactly why. It's this idea of deferred maintenance. One little leaky faucet on its own, it's just a drip, but a leaky faucet, plus a cracked tile in the bathroom, plus some scuffed up paint by the door. All together, that starts to paint a picture of neglect, and an appraiser might start wondering, if these little things are ignored, what bigger problems am I not seeing? And that thought alone can bring the value down. So, here's your high-impact checklist. Walk through your house and fix those little things. Touch up the scuffed paint. Replace that one cracked tile. Go around and tighten all the loose knobs on cabinets and doors. And here's an easy one. Flip every single light switch and check the outlets. These fixes are super quick, but they show that the house is cared for and everything's in working order. Okay, now we're moving on to what might be the single most powerful tool you have, and it's the one most people totally forget about. Paperwork. This is where you stop just showing the appraiser your home's value and you start proving it with cold, hard facts. I want you to make a simple folder or a binder. Think of it like a highlight reel for your house. Put in the receipts for that kitchen remodel, the permit for the deck you added, and any service records for the furnace or AC. Got a new roof 5 years ago? Put the paperwork in there. And you know what's amazing? Before and after photos. They literally show the value you've added. You're not just telling a story, you're handing them the evidence. And this is absolutely key. You can't just assume the appraiser is going to notice everything. They're only there for a short time. You lived there. You know the story of the house. So be ready to politely point things out. Say, hey, just wanted to make sure you saw the new energy-efficient windows we put in last year. You're their guide. You're helping them do their job accurately, which helps you get a fair valuation. Now, all this prep work is fantastic, but it's only half the battle. You also need the right person doing the appraisal in the first place. And living here in Missoula actually gives you a bit of an inside track if you know what to do. This is such simple advice, but it is pure gold. Your divorce attorney doesn't just know the law, they know the local scene. They've seen tons of appraisals reports. They know which appraisers are respected by the courts, who does thorough work, and who really gets the Missoula market. This is an insider tip. Use it. And here's another great piece of local wisdom. Instead of you hiring one appraiser and your ex hiring another one, which just leads to a battle of the appraisals and more legal fees, try to agree on a single, jointly appointed appraiser. Seriously, this one move can save so much time, money, and heartache. It just streamlines the whole thing. So when you boil it all down, the cleaning, the minor repairs, the binder full of documents, finding the right local pro, it all comes back to this one central idea. Preparation is power. By doing these things, you're no longer just a passenger on this stressful ride. You're taking the wheel. You're ensuring accuracy, and you're taking back control over a really important part of your financial future. So I want to leave you with this question. Don't think about the whole list, because that can be overwhelming. Just think, what is one small thing from this explainer that you can do today, right now? Maybe it's just tightening that one wobbly drawer handle. Or maybe it's digging out the receipt for that new water heater. Whatever it is, that one small step is you starting to empower yourself in this process. And that's a huge win.